or maybe the red tower hold. It's just something that they're probably not expecting the other team to expect, so I would hope that they'd rush into that, have a strat for that, and be able to execute it successfully as a defensive team.
So, to start things first, we are going downstairs. Laundry room and supply room, strictly business, going straight down there. While the 3-sub guys are bringing their attack lineup, looking very, very similar to what we've seen, other than the lack of Blackbeard.
Blackbeard has not made an appearance yet tonight, or in this matchup. But I tell you what has is a Frost. And we were talking about this back in the EU Xbox, and that was how we wanted to see more of a Frost rather than a Bandit or a Pulse. We felt that Frost would be more effective, more viable, for the simple fact that Pulse did get his little nerf. He is now more balanced, not totally gone out of the gameplay or out of the strat, but he is balanced to the fact where some bomb sites he's very useful, some he's not. And this is going to be one of those bomb sites where he's less viable, less useful. And you can see Strictly Business deciding not to select him, going with the Frost Traps that proved to be very useful during Season 2 and in Season 1 as well.
Yeah, 5 seconds. We talked about how Frost Traps are great on this bomb site here in Europe earlier on, just because when teams like to play slow, as a lot of these guys do, putting Frost Traps in these positions just really hurts them when they play super, super slow pushes. Also note where the armor bag's been put. That makes it a bit of a pain in the ass to plant there if you're in a rush. Yep. So now you have to stop and shoot and break that frag as well. So it's just an extra couple of seconds that you could have won for your team by putting the armor bag where you have.
You can tell just by strats like that, just by little things such as placement of that armor pack, is telling of the defense and how well they're prepared for this bomb site, as well as just this map in general. I mean, you've got little stuff like that. You've got little murder holes or little crawl-through holes that you typically don't necessarily see, that this team has come prepared and has opened up for their team.
Oh, I missed my own prediction. Never mind. Hopes is picking up the first very aggressive kill onto Strictly Business's Jaeger, taking him out the picture. And then heading back outside on the map. Upstairs is still as he is on and in the attic. Now he may have a better view here. That rubble might not be the same there for him.
Yeah, and Ash is going to go down and jump off the building to drop herself down to a down but not out state so her teammate can pick her up, because she was down to about 30 health after fighting Jaeger and winning that fight, but still costing her 70 of her health.
Beastly then does get that trapdoor opened up as we got a couple of players in and watching through the meeting hall for safety, as they can now start looking down through the floor and through that trapdoor. Carefully and cautiously though, as they do not have that Blackbeard to do it so safely.
Yeah, what I'm not sure is if they actually realize Valkyrie is in the top of meeting hall, if not the back of Red Tower. She's the only defender not on site, but it does look like someone... Oh, and it's going to be Valkyrie getting the kill onto Sledge as he decides he's going to shoot through the wall unintentionally, not hitting her. Yeah. So it's going to be Valkyrie getting that kill, the first kill on attack side.
Meanwhile, Marco Polo did trade a very, very intense swap back and forth with Carnage here. Shotgun blast to Carnage, put him down that low. A couple of shots from him put Marco Polo down this low. I have no idea how he's alive right now, because this should be an easy burn. Even if someone is up on this counter here to his left, you should be able to burn him out as Capital. So agreed. I don't know what the hell Jay did with his bolts, but he did not line up his aim properly.
But the attack smokes will go out, and it's going to be the diffuser getting planted by Thermite. He's going to go right by that laundry hatch. No C4 available yet to try and kill him off. That diffuser gets planted. He backs out of the way. C4 gets there too late. Thermite's able to back up. Capital back at the top of the stairs now. And we're going to see Frost getting picked up by her teammate, Rook.
Ash picking up another kill now at the backside of the site, taking down that Valkyrie. They're going to try and go for the retake now. Marco Polo goes up to the front staircase. Jay cannot go down, and they stop shooting Silent Rage. He had to, otherwise he's going to team kill. Nova coming up behind now. Beastly realizing the meeting hall must be where he's coming from. Ash is now watching it from the staircase too. All of them pushing in. He does get Carnage down, but Ash is there. Hopes with his third kill of the game seals it out, and Strictly Business go down in round number 1 to 3-sub.
Yeah, 3-sub having a strong attack there. Getting that diffuser down with only having 1 death on their team so far. And then pulling back, getting out of there before that gas grenade from Smoke played a vital role. Created a nice shield, because if a smoke grenade goes down or a gas grenade goes down, guess what? Only Smoke can go through that. Even Smoke's teammates can't, even if they're wearing that gas mask. So you've got to be careful of where you're going to throw those. But definitely great gameplay by both sides, but we do see 3-sub leading ahead in that first round.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bomb.
So, down into the basement goes the 3-sub defense. They are bringing themselves a cap can instead of a Frost, so a little bit less flexible trap placement, but still ultimately the same deal. Putting those traps down where they want them to be. Strictly Business and their fancy armor placement, not there this time around. 3-sub going with a more standard middle of the room setup.
Now, we do see a Capcom coming on this defense, and I want to call out for those of you that weren't watching the EU Xbox, Capcom played a vital role in a few rounds on this map. In one of the maps, Capcom placed all 3 traps down on the bomb site of B and got 3 kills with his 3 traps. So let's see if this Capcom can replicate that, replicate those positions, push the attackers to forcefully go through those doorways without checking, and ultimately get the round 1.
Up, finishing their last few setups and sitting patiently downstairs, all except Jay, who's up in this back tower looking for that late peek towards the front end of the map, towards that front staircase that leads down towards the basement. We saw it earlier on, he pulls it on down. No one up anywhere just yet. Marco Proto's still out on the spawn street. No one even inside that window yet. If he shoots too early, he'll give his position away. If he shoots too late, he'll have missed his chance.
But this is a nice angle. You see a couple people holding that from time to time, but it's going to be tough without any kind of notice on when they're coming up those stairs.
Carnage is on the cameras for him. Zap has just made a hole through the top of the staircase, but not gone to push through it.
We do have everyone else on bomb site, except for Jaeger, who we're watching here. We are going to have one Capcom trap down. Silent Rage gets instantly killed by Capcom's trap. Very useful there. Capital and Jaeger are now going at it from the top of red into the top of the stairs there, and Jaeger takes quite a hit when he falls down those stairs. Yeah,
he did a lot of damage to Nova's Capital there too, so the camera shoutouts were in a good spot, and it does scare him now from away using that hole on the staircase. EMP's going off in the front end of the site there will allow Thatcher to, Thermite to get his charge off. Silent Rage, that Blackbeard taken out by a Capcan trap very early on, so even though he was picked up here by Strictly Business, not going to be any kind of impact.
That's a late reinforcement of the wall by Valkyrie, but she does get it off without getting nicked at all through the drop hatch, and that's going to be nice for them to be able to then open up a murder hole and still have some cover as the attackers start pushing down here in the last 70 seconds of the round. It is right now a 5-on-4, and Capital is going to use his nades, open up that barbed wire so they have a nice, easy, smooth entry point through the bottom of the main stairs. Thermite has a hold of the diffuser, and he's actually leading the way. I'd expect someone else to so that he can get in behind him. But Ash is going to hold that top drop hatch, and now Thermite has entered into the bottom, and he's going to be planting. Kill goes down. Nova getting the kill onto Jaeger, and that diffuser does get planted. Valkyrie also gets down. Rook turning the corner from the laundry corridor, and here he's going to be underneath of that table. Capital is now in the corner of that laundry, holding it tight. Rook gets down, and it's going to be the attackers getting the win after that diffuser gets planted. Great job by Strictly Business, taking their first win here on the round.
Despite a very low health there for Capital, very aggressively pushes down and sits himself in the back of the site, holds on tight, and yeah, as they try and rush forward for the plant, they do easily stop it. That bomb site becomes impossible to retake when you have got that plant down, especially when everyone's pushing for below 1 by 1 like they did there. But when you have a flanker coming upstairs and he's late to the party, it's not going to be any easier. But when you've got things like Capital sitting down waiting to collect you, it gets tougher and tougher every moment. Yeah, you need to stop that plant going down. That's the key thing. It's the C4 over the top. It should be an easy thing to do, but so far now both these teams have let that plant go down.
And that's one of the things that makes a good lurker a good lurker. The fact that they have the correct timing. The timing is almost everything with a lurker, as well as being quiet and picking good spots and outmaneuvering the attackers. But it all comes down in the very last few seconds, that timing. Are you going to come down too early, too late? Do the attackers already realize, and are they already expecting you from behind? Or did you get a good job of maneuvering around their drones, around them looking? And I think that's one of the things that I've seen teams struggle with, especially on this map, because this map is pretty easy to identify when the lurk is going to come, when that push from behind, when that flank's going to happen. And ultimately, I haven't seen it very successful for many of the defensive teams here today. But as we get underway in the attack round, we do see Frost making an appearance again on the top floor. Again, no pulse, but Valkyrie is already engaging in some conflict here. She's down to about half of her health. And we are going to be underway. Jaeger on the main floor, And the rest of the floor are going to be on bomb site, on top floor.
Bomb located by attackers.
See, slow but steady pushes coming out from these attacking teams. Now they looked for that early fight. They looked for those early quick pickoffs on easy targets. Now they're slowing down a little bit more. Jay grenading into the double bedroom, checking anyone's here at the top of this back staircase, spraying to make the hole a little bit more open if he can.
And again, what we're not seeing again is a Blackbeard. Typically, you'd see a Blackbeard on this map because there are many windows, many doorways that he can be very useful for, especially with long corridors where you can just head peek. But we aren't seeing him from 3-sub. It looks like they're going to trade him out and pull up the Thatcher instead. Capital is almost a guaranteed from the attack side now, with his arrows being the smoke and the incendiary arrows being very useful. Ash also, again, very useful, as well as Thermite is a definite must, and Sledge is very useful on this map since there are a lot of breakable walls.
So still just looking for people that are straying out of position through open windows while they're cracking their way into the different parts of the site they can actually get access to.
And we do see Valkyrie on the back of those, or on the main stairs, working her way up. Jaeger right next to her now. And I think they're a little bit too close. They're a little bit too close, and then now they're going to have to start working their way back on site because there's a minute 15 left to go. The attackers are going to start pushing, and it's going to start getting very chaotic into the next 30, 40 seconds.
Marco Polo trading out Sledge then, but is immediately answered back by Frost himself going down. Pressure on the A window is still here. Thermite is still droning though, but is close to the kid's bedroom. They want to put the plant in here to B, but he knows if that man is at the top of the staircase, he's going to be in trouble. Hopes this is not really the best time for droning, but he's going to leave it down in the dining hall to wait for a flank. No, he's driving it quite a way away. I don't know what entirely it is he's trying to find, with 55 seconds, 45 seconds now on the clock.
Capital has made it into the bedroom though.
Yeah, he's in, but the diffuser is now going down. Capital smoking out and choking off the doorway, darting into the other bomb site now to watch the complete cross. He's got the back staircase, the Silent Rage needs to make his way over. A lot of damage coming down from underneath. That's ZZ C4ing from below, taking Beastly down. Silent Rage now coming out from behind the bomb. Jay kicks him up with an easy kill, gets a second one onto Nova, but ZZ picks out and gets him to finished off. Ash is coming up from below now, and he's the only man standing. It is a 1v1 as ZZ is upstairs in the bomb site. He knows that Ash is below. He's stuck in the barbed wire. He's going to get in towards the bomb site. He's on the diffuser here. Pros don't fake. He's going to hold it on through. The spray is coming out. Now Hopes has realized he screwed up. ZZ pulls off, but steps straight into Hopes' fire, and the attackers do get the round.
I think Valkyrie didn't like you saying pros don't fake, and she was trying to prove you wrong, but unfortunately for her, it didn't pay off. She probably had about 1 or 2 more hits, and I think if she would have stayed on that diffuser, it could have been destroyed, and the defenders could have won that round.
It's a 7-second defuse time here in Pro League play, and it's a lot longer, those extra 2 seconds, than the straight up basic ranked 5-second timer.
And so here we go. Bottom floor again is where the bomb site's going to be. A Capcom and a Pulse making an appearance, and Blackbeard's going to make his way back into the rotation for the attackers. Now, Capcom got a kill the last time the bomb site was down here. It was very early on. I believe it did take off, who did kill? I want to say Sledge, potentially. But it was a nice kill. We're going to come back and potentially see if there's going to be more Capcom traps, more kills, and see if they're going to force the attackers to go a different route.
Yeah, that Blackbeard last time had a real tough time getting through the first trap he came across.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can do a better job this time over, as they do look for a very similar setup. Beastly once again locking up the backside of the site. We didn't see a whole lot of pressure coming down on towards that construction from before, but Hopes is leaving a couple of traps there as well, just in case.
So Jaeger's going to be sticking his device down at the bottom of those stairs. That's going to hopefully prevent any of those nades that the attackers are going to throw trying to destroy the barbed wire. Make it so they are forced to either waste 3 nades for the fact of just getting 1 barbed wire destroyed, or they're going to have to go down and manually hit it 3 times. And that can be very difficult for the attackers to do, especially if the defenders hold them off towards the end of the round.
So this time around, Silent Rage is still alive for a little bit longer, as he is starting to drone out the meeting hall in the front lobby and check everything that's coming his way. Then will finally make his movement off the street. Taking out the cameras, the rest of his team is now pushing the other floors. Note now that there's no one up in the big tower at the back of the site. So while Zap has made that hole on the top of the stairs, it's not as dangerous for him to actually shoot down through it. Last time it was Nova that really made that push and got shot in the back from the tower, and he's droning to check it this time.
Yeah, he's just going to keep his drone right here and have his team watch it when they get a chance. But he's on the other side of the map, making his way towards the top, through the top hallway, towards the armory. And Cam's already down, floor's already blown. And now it's just a matter of getting that Val Cam, and now he's going to be watching the bottom of those stairs.
Silent Rage in the meeting hall now with a very nice little punch hole in towards the back doorway, watching for the rotate. Zap on the front stairs is using smoke grenades, using his breach charges to take out the barbed wire and looking down for what might be coming up as they blow that trapdoor. Now he can drone on down through it, check the front end of the site, check the corridor at the back and the rotate hole in the little laundry room to see what they're going to be greeted by when they make their way down.
And so you can see Ash gathering as much information with her drone as possible. She knows that wall is blown in laundry. She knows it's viable for people to run through. She saw Rook, she saw Valk, and now it's the time to give that information to her team, start formulating how this push is going to happen with the 60 seconds left to go in the round. It's still a 5-on-5, and smokes are going out, flashbangs are going out, but Jaeger charges are going to kill all of them, destroy them all, and make it very difficult for the attackers to start making this push happen.
Marco Polo takes down Jay through this back meeting hall trapdoor, and now with the diffuser in hand, he's going to head down the front stairs. 45 seconds on the clock. He's got to get this plant down. Now, the previous rounds, everyone's let this happen, and that's not been good for the defending team. Can they stop this one? He does bait out the C4, but he does get downed by it instead of just killed off. So this is still doing its job. The team now's got to be cautious, though, because they don't know if he's been stopped or not. He will be killed off, and now they're going to be aware, so they've got to stay safe. Knowing the diffuser is dropped in here, Carnage is in a very risky position underneath this trapdoor. But down the stairs they come. There's the Blackbeard, and it's an easy kill for him. Silent Rage picking it up. Zap grabbing one as well, and the attackers are starting to get a few kills, but it's 2v2 now as they're traded back. Hopes in the corridor, still has eyes on that diffuser corner. Inside, Beastly has another C4, throws it through, and with quick shots, Beastly and Hopes grab a kill themselves.
And that's going to be 3-sub taking their third win, making it 3-1 right now against Strictly Business, who did place second in the world in last season's Xbox Finals.
Yeah. So they are starting to edge out a little lead here. 3-sub making sure the world knows that, yeah, they didn't get that second place. Yeah, Strictly Business took that from them and went to LAN finals, but this season they're here to leave a mark and take that spot for themselves. And as it stands right now, they are one step closer to doing that. They just need 2 more rounds to secure this first map.
Yeah, we are going to see the bomb site at the bottom again, inside of the laundry room and the stock room down there. And we see smoke throwing, looks like reinforcing the wall back by the construction entrance. And that's just going to slow them down a little bit. If they decide they're going to push from that construction entrance. Jaeger then going back upstairs, putting some barbed wire on the main stairs like he always will. And we do see Frost again, overturning the play for push, or for pulse. What I'm not seeing yet, though, but I did see, I believe, last time that we were on Oregon was a mute. We haven't seen that make an appearance yet for either of these teams. And we saw it being quite useful in some of the previous gameplay today.
Yeah, these two teams, they're still bringing their Thatchers to the table despite the fact that there is no mute there. They're not using it too well on Capcan traps. But they are still having successful rounds on attack. Marco Polo now making a crawl hole in towards the back attic, which Zap will use later on, no doubt. He's being that rumor, he's being that lurk around from behind.
And so Frost rotates back downstairs. Jaeger, again, is going to sit right here and just watch for the peek from Meeting Hall. Valkyrie just peeking, dancing around the corner of that doorway, trying to see if anyone's going to come in through the garage, if she might put a pick up off in a cheesy angle. But now she's going to hop on her drone and just get information for her team.
Z looking out towards the garage, if there was someone there, if there's someone at the doorway, someone repelling, it could have been a nice, quick and easy kill for them. But they aren't there yet. They're still all droning for themselves. Still thinking about giving another peek. Now there's a man in the garage. It's Jay, actually, but he can't quite catch the side of him. Doesn't have the beautiful silhouettes that we do.
Yeah, but Jaeger's still playing that top of red building here. But we are going to see ZZ starting to shoot a couple more murder holes. Now we know that Capcom hears those shots. He's going to be very cautious of that Meeting Hall push. He's going to call it out, say, hey guys, we got to watch that flank. We know they're going to be there. Jaeger still on cams for his team right now, as well as Valkyrie, gathering as much information as possible. Smoke, Frost, and Rook are still sitting on bomb site, just waiting for the push to happen. That drop hatch does get opened up by Thermite, and Frost is underneath of that, close to the bottom of those main stairs.
now got to hide here by the plant spot. Has been spotted out, has to make a break for it to try and get somewhere to safety, and she does manage to pull it off, but is now going to be in a much tougher spot of actually doing anything. Has to make another crawl hold to get back into the site, using more and more ammo to get everything done.
She is down to about, I believe, 7 rounds left of that shotgun, and then the rest is going to be her pistol.
But if she does it right, she won't have to fire too many times at all. That might just be enough. C4 is going to go out, and it went... Oh, sorry, that was just smoke, so good job, Nova. Hides now behind the reinforced wall. Going to keep throwing smoke charges out down to the back of the site. Beastly is going to go for the plant. He is trying to hold it, but he takes a lot of damage for it, so he has to fake off and run away. 45 seconds on the clock. Now they do trade ZZ out for Zap. Sorry, Carnage out for Zap as ZZ picks up the kill, but the plant is now still being delayed. 30 seconds is what Smoke can hold it out for, thanks to those charges. Uses a couple more. ZZ now fighting on through. Beastly's back to where the plant's going to be.
And now Capital's got to hold this angle while
Capital's
Thermite gets
dead.
the diffuser down.
Nova finishes him off. Marco Polo's there. The plant has now been finished too because Marco Polo pushed aggressively up. ZZ's grabbing a kill on Digital, and suddenly it's all on Ash. She's on the front stairs, and while the Ash, very, very low because that shotgun, she gets a double down. Now has to ignore the second man, go downstairs, need to pick up the diffuser and get the plant. Has got a couple of seconds to reload, he's peeking the corridor while she's there. 6 seconds on the clock, comes around the corner shooting, but Silent Rage is there with his gun trained on the stairwell. And it is a round in the books for Strictly Business. 3 rounds to 2 then. They are closing the gap up once more.
Yeah, and Strictly Business not ready to go down without a fight yet. We do see them trying to hold down that basement bomb site, and they did it successfully this time. Very nice job by them, and it looks like we're going to be going top floor potentially for the next bomb site.
So, having successful holds on bottom floors again. It's time for the upstairs switch up to come through. 3 up currently.
I will say that seems like one of the things that has been changing, and some of the meta that's been evolving on this on the specific bomb site of the basement, where you do reinforce that one wall and you blow just enough of the top so you can throw those smoke grenades or throw those C4s through the wall without actually being exposed to that drop hatch. That was a great play by Smoke that last round, nailing off 30 seconds of the attacker's ability to go down and plant. I mean, Thermite was already partially planting that. Smoke charge went out, just started hurting him. He had to retreat back up the stairs, came back down, and it wasn't enough time to do much.
Yeah. That's the perfect play. It's the perfect way to hold that site. Didn't quite work out for him in the end of it because of a few other things falling apart.
But fortunately,
they then picked it back up again afterwards.
Yep.
And got the job done.
We are going to see a C4 from Pulse get thrown by the kids' room going towards the A bomb site. Not quite sure if it was just a missed throw, but it doesn't look like that wall got opened up as much as he's looking to have it opened. He's going to have to start shooting through the rest of that.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of the teams do it anyway once you throw the C4 and then shoot open the wall to make sure it is a little bit perfect. But either way, Crawl Hole is there and he's down to 3 magazines with a bit of basic math left on that ump, which is and should be more than enough to hold off this attack that's coming their way, but we'll find out. Meanwhile, Jay is up in the attic, down in the basement. They've sent Digital with that Spaz 12. Interesting that we're seeing Aroma with the shotgun in tow. We'll see if he can really make it work, especially now that the range has been nerfed heavily. Not using the MPX, but
we are going to see a Buck make an appearance here instead of a Thermite this time. Buck's going to have that diffuser. It looks like Nova will get the shot onto Rook right at the start of the round here. Still 2 minutes left to go, and it's a 5-on-4.
So, picking up a very early killer in this round. Doesn't matter who it is, it's always going to be good. When the defensive team are down that man, they have 2 roamers now, one of which at least has been droned here, which is why they're watching and cautious of this tower. Whether or not the other one, as soon as they find out there's 2 roamers, honestly, they should just rush the bomb sites.
Nova walked right by a Vault cam at his feet outside of the red tower. And that was lit up. Somebody was on that, so they did see Nova rotate around. I'm sure that grappling hook gave away some information to the defenders, and they're going to be looking for someone to come and go after them.
Yeah, it's going to go up now over the attic, and that will have definitely been heard by the man inside.
We're going to see this Capital arrow again, which we saw earlier did get Doc, but fortunately for the defensive team, no one's sitting in that room at the moment. That was a wasted incendiary arrow. Sledge coming up from those back stairs by the White Tower. He's going to work his way up here. Just hold this angle for a little bit, but you'll eventually see him make his way there. Ash in the kitchen now, looking for the flank from the bottom stairs. Blackbeard and Buck are going to push into the A bomb site, and it looks as though Buck will get that defuse down. He's going to be in that corner by the big window. Except for the fact that Pulse gets that kill.
Beasley drops him down and there's no more diffuser. It's left inside. ZZ though trades it back one way and then has to come in. Silent Rage going to pick up the diffuser. It's a 2v2 as trades are traded left, back and center. Ash was picked off by Valkyrie down in the kitchen and now she's made her way upstairs. She finds the plant and that's another stop. All on Capital now. Nova is inside, but Digital is pinned within the A site. Outside is the enemy detected and it is Digital running all the way across from the other bomb site. Not Digital, sorry. Jay running across from the small tower. Both players now tucked inside that little corner. No crossbow balls left for Nova, but he does have a couple of grenades. Digital's peeking out. He's going to go grenade in hand, peeks it around, throws it straight at Jay, but he's already sprinting away from it. And Nova now has 15 seconds to get that diffuser and pick it up. Sprints across in front of Jay, looks for Digital, dodges around the shots, but can't land enough in time. Jay peeks out to flank, and it's an easy round for 3-sup once more, putting them 4 rounds to 2.
And that is going to be match point coming up now for this first game that we are going to see here tonight between Strictly Business and 3-sup. So some great crossfire there. I mean, you saw Jaeger time that perfectly from the time that Buck had the nade in his hand. I'm sorry, Capital with the nade in his hand. And he timed it perfectly, realized that, hey, it hasn't been fire for a little bit. If I was in Capital's shoes, what would I be doing? I'd be cooking a grenade to throw it to me. So he timed that correctly, understood the situation he was in, rotated around to that small kid's bedroom just in time in order to get that crossfire for when Capital ultimately went after Valkyrie.
So, time to defend the same bomb site location for Strictly Business now. They do lose Zap right at the start of the round, so I did think it was going a little bit too smoothly. Because we were within the first 15 seconds of that round, they do reserve the right to back out and ask for a remake. That's exactly what they're going to do. So the score will stay at 4 rounds to 2, but we will have to back out, remake the lobby, re-invite the teams, get Strictly Business all back in here with all their 5 players, and go for defense again. We're going to run to a short commercial break while that happens, but the score, as I mentioned, will stay. 3-sup is still up 4 rounds to 2. They are on map point for this first map here against Strictly Business. Strictly Business coming second out of all the Xbox teams in Season 2. So 3-sup being this far ahead in their first map of the season, it's a pretty solid start so far.
You can see why they were teams 1 or 2 and 3 for NA Xbox.
Yep.
I mean, great gameplay from both teams. But like you said, we are going to cut to a quick commercial break. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
to the schedule screen, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. We are here, and we have all our players loading back into the lobby. Well, rather straight up back into the game, because they're all in the lobby and we're good to go. Strictly Business versus 3Sup.
3Sup is up 4-2, in case you are just joining us right now. Had a little bit of a disconnect there, but bomb site, I believe, does have to be top floor. Can't be bottom, I believe.
Bottom floor is still locked, so they're going to be top floor. Strictly Business are defending there. And, well, it's on 3Sup to now attack, as you say. 4 rounds to 2. All they have to do is successfully attack here, and we're good. And that will be first map in the bag here in favor of 3Sup. They then will head over to our next map, which is going to be Kanal. But we'll cross to that when it comes to it. Strictly Business running a slightly different set of operators defending the top floor that they just lost an attack round on.
Yeah, we do see, again, Buck making the appearance again for the attackers, but it looks like it's going to be traded out instead of Thatcher now. Last time we did see Buck was traded in and Thermite was rotated out, but Thatcher's going to make that trip to the bench, and Buck's going to come in for him. But we are going to see that typical Strictly Business defense that we've seen here for the last couple of times. Where we don't see a Pulse, we do see a Frost, a Valk, a Jaeger, a Rook, and a Smoke.
So, last couple of seconds worth of reinforcements and gadget placements and barbed wires going down. Nova still running around downstairs in and around the kitchen and dining area before coming back up. ZZ, with that MPX in tow, is going to pull down some windows at garage and just put a little bit of fear into the attacking team as to what may be there on their initial push forward, and then more importantly, give pathways for rotations later on.
Yep.
If they want to get around or jump underneath. We've seen multiple teams in the past jump out of that armory window, down and in through that garage window we just saw him open, get back underneath an attacking team, surprise them from behind or something. If he'd had to do that in the middle of the round and punch the window open, he would have been detected, given him away. Now he can do it within the 2-second window.
Yeah, and that's one of the key factors that you're going to see here. If someone does stick around in armory and is able to stay in there for a length of time. Valkyrie right now is, though, at the top of the stairs getting that information for her team on those cameras, but it looks like they are being taken out recently here. I do see a push making their way from the White Tower. We didn't see anyone spawn outside a street. All the defenders, except for one, I believe, are top floor. Looks as though Jaeger will be either in the basement or in the meeting hall area. But what we're typically going to see here from the defenders, or from the attackers, at least the way they're set up now, is going to be a push from that White Tower. From the White Tower, possibly going through the top floor to the big window outside, to that connector, possibly throwing some grenades or ash charges underneath the kitchen, getting the bunk beds. But we do have 1:30 left, and hardly anyone has seen each other yet. We are going to get into some action here very briefly, though.
He is walking through that alleyway on the attic, and while he takes very little damage, he's lucky to do so, as Ash nailing him from the roof above on top of Kids. Hopes now knows he's got him pinned in one corner. He's going to try and hold him there. Zap, though, has picked up Digital, and now Zizi's going to try and take the fight just as Ash looks away, and it's a perfect timing. Exposes her head and manages to pick it off and get out safely. Drops down into meeting, is tagged a little way, but now he's here with Zap. Both of them on low health. Tries to dart into garage, but will lose his life that way. Inside the bedroom now, Beastly is going in with the diffuser in tow. Maybe you have to get the plant going, but if he walks into a frost trap, that ain't going to happen. So the diffuser is down inside Kid's bedroom. Zap is underneath here on low health, but the man upstairs is Silent Rage, still watching this back staircase in case of a man flanking up here. Meanwhile, Jace is upstairs, can rappel in to join Beastly in just a moment. Needs to do so as the Carnage flashbangs are coming in from A, but Silent Rage picks up just at the right time to kill the man while he's still down in the frost trap. But the diffuser's been picked up. Buck's been finished off by walking into a frost trap himself, and Zap gets the kill from behind onto Blackbeard.
And I'm going to consider that a double kill for the frost traps. Knowing that Thermite got in there, was down by the frost trap, then you see Blackbeard right here also getting killed. I'm going to give 2 of those kills to Frost, even though the scoreboard isn't going to show it. That is a great placement there. Again, very similar to how Capcom traps work. When the attack side is trying to rush in, they were being very careless with how they're entering and what they're entering into. That's where those traps, such as the Capcom and also the Frost Bear traps, are going to come into play and be very useful. So,
with Strictly Business successfully holding their defense, they stay alive for a little bit longer. 4 rounds to 3 is our new current scoreline, but 3Sup now get to defend the basement again. They're bringing Capcan down here again, something which Silent Rage had a little bit of issue with the first time they did it, by placing and standing on Capcan traps. He did not have any impact in the game. As for the rest of the round, well, this team are setting up their defenses above. And of course, the very light end of defense at the backside. Digital running around again with this Spaz 12 in tow has been a very mobile Valkyrie in this series so far with the shotgun. Right now he's just having a little bit of a shoot taking out this drone. Is toying with him in the showers.
So he was able to kill that down. But what I'm not seeing here for the defensive side is going to be a smoke. And we saw how useful a smoke was the last time the bomb site was in the basement. We saw how useful that 30 seconds of just pure, you can't plant here, I won't let you, was for the defensive team. And the fact that the defensive team here, 3-sup, is not going to utilize that, but they're still going to reinforce this wall, still going to utilize it for potential C4 throws, it's kind of a mystery. The fact that they won't be having smoke to enter into that combat.
So, nice big hole being made here by Digital. He has come back down to join his team. And obviously throw C4 through that, but the problem with that hole is even if you crouch behind it, you're going to be on display.
Yep.
Now, you normally make it a little bit higher so that you can throw it up without your head being on display, and the timing of it coming out surprises the attackers, and they can't shoot you so well when you do it.
We're going to have 4 Valkyrie cams all looking at one bomb site. Looks like there might have been a little miscommunication on where those should be going, because now you can see almost every Val cam from each other's Val cam. You're going to have a very low sense of what's happening, but I guess this is going to be the risk reward. They know probably 1 or 2 Val cams will get destroyed, but they're hoping that the push is going to be to that A bomb site towards the bottom of those main stairs, and they're still going to have 1 or 2 Val cams left alive. So this is that risk reward of, hey, I'm going to trade off getting information at the start of the round through the middle part of the round, and I'm going to save that information towards the very end when the rest of my team that's already dead can then tell me that information on when they're planting. So hopefully it's going to pay off for the defenders, but here we are going to get underway as Thermite does blow that drop hatch, and we're going to be droning it out here shortly as Ash.
So, Zap drone's down. He's already taken out a little bit of barbed wire on the staircase with his charges. Now drones see what's coming and waiting for them on the other side. You can now already tell that everyone is off that A site, in through the connectors, in through different spots. That should be a nice easy take now thanks to the introduction of Capital, who, well, when nobody decides to come and join his team at the trapdoor, can use his asphyxiating bolt in towards the laundry connector, one in towards the corridor, and then nice and easy down the stairs they go. They do, of course, have to take out the man in that little back cupboard, but he could smoke that nice and well, too. So there
he
goes
will
one.
use the incendiary there as well as inside of the storage closet.
All right, using the storage cupboard is fine. It's done the same result. It's got them down. Here comes the C4, though. That's the plan stopped. Marco Polo now finished off, has to be picked up. Somehow, Valkyrie got in through there without taking serious damage from that incendiary bolt herself. Gets back out again. The diffuser is still down as it was trying to be collected, but Zap picked up a kill onto Jay while pushing down. Carnage takes more damage from Zap as well. He's in and pinned, and he gets a double, downing Digital and then finishing Carnage down as well. Pushing another one onto Hopes in the corridor, and Zap is doing work right now from inside this A-bomb site. Beastly is coming on the right-hand side. He switches to his pistol. Beastly's pinned in the corner. He will miss a lot of those shots, but Beastly is still delaying it every little second, and Strictly Business push forward to finish off the last couple of kills and take it to overtime.
Yeah, they were not ready to give it up, even though it was 3-1 just a few rounds ago. And Strictly Business ready to go at it here for the attack side, just nailing those shots. We saw ZZ, I believe it was, just tremendously great accuracy with his shots, having the knowledge of, hey, I'm going to shoot one through there, going to look to left, there's going to be Capcom, let's get him down. And it was just bam, 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 and those were the kills that he got, giving that team the win.
Yep, Zaps drops through the trapdoor after a team has come down the stairs, after a team has taken a couple of C4s, drops in through, cleans up the player's door on the reload, thinking they're safe, thinking they've fallen back far enough away from that push Strictly Business are coming, and Zap just cleaned them up one after the other.
Yep.
And then the follow through afterwards, well, he's got no one else left. So, as everyone backs on out, we have to set up for overtime. It being 4 rounds to 4 now, we need to do a bit of a coin flip, a little bit of admin work to figure out who's going to be on attack and who's going to be on defense. Obviously, all the bomb sites are going to unlock again. All of that's back on through, which means we have another 3-minute break to send you to. So we'll be back in just a moment with the overtime of Oregon between Strictly Business and 3-sup. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. Our players are funneling their way back into the lobby for overtime. 3-sup is going to be your defensive team for the first round of overtime. And Strictly Business is going to go on to attack. I suspect we're going to see them straight back into that basement that we just saw go through. However, Strictly Business, having just won the attack round there, going to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, and what I think we might actually see is you suggested the bottom bomb site. We did see Strictly Business choose the top bomb site, I believe, at the start of this round.
We did, yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they chose that, because I believe they won that, and that was their first win out of those first 4 rounds when it was 3-1 with them only taking the 1 win.
Yeah, so we'll see what they choose to do as they funnel their way back in. 3-sup are all already here. Strictly Business won't be joining us back in just a moment. We've seen a couple of different ideas. We've seen a couple of different strategies on making things try and work from round to round. Not always having the best effect, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen Buck. I mean, we've seen Buck a couple times on the attack side. What I haven't seen him be is useful. I haven't seen any wow plays. I haven't been wowed by Buck yet. I haven't seen him when they're on the top floor. Haven't seen him go into kitchen, shoot up underneath, knock out the main areas for the kids' room bomb site. What I would expect to see is that happen. Then you get your thermite or you get your sledge inside of that bomb site and you start planting that diffuser. But I haven't seen some great plays from Buck yet, and I'm kind of sad. I want to see that from Buck. I know he's very viable in a lot of different situations, especially when that vertical gameplay, where this map, just like many others, are very destructible. So that master key, that skeleton key that Buck has, should be very viable. But I'm just not seeing the team use it correctly.
Yeah, so we'll find out whether they do or not as the last man comes in. Especially, as you mentioned, if we're going to see Strictly Business take that upstairs bomb site, that kid's dorm bomb site as their first go-to, very easy for Buck to get in underneath that, get into the kitchen, and just decimate that kid's bedroom floor, which we've already seen them try and plant into a couple of times.
Or even if you wanted to say, hey, we're going to push from armory, push into master bedroom, open up that wall, and that's going to be the wall from master bedroom into that middle bomb site. You can get Buck inside a kid's room, or the classroom underneath. Again, play that vertical gameplay with Buck. Open that up from underneath. That way you don't need to waste C4s, or you don't need to waste nades and time them correctly to say, okay, let me see if I get someone offhand. Use that shotgun to the effectiveness that it is.
So here it is, as we do see what the selection's going to be for 3-sup. It's starting out with a laundry room, supply room. So they are going to go straight down into the basement once again. Despite having just lost that to a Strictly Business attack, they are confident that they can switch things up a little bit, and they will be just fine in doing it again.
Yeah, and so we do see Capcom coming out again for the laundry room and supply room bomb sites. And again, useful, very useful. Pulse, we're going to see him paired up again, and that's going to be, we've seen him played before this nerf. We've seen him played on those main stairs, just saying, hey, there's 3 people in the main lobby. Look for the other 2 to come down construction or come down from the red tower. But now that his device has been nerfed to some degree, or balanced as some may say, down from 13 meters to a 9-meter range, you're not going to be able to get that entire lobby area. So him standing on those stairs isn't going to prove to be as useful, but I can still see him getting great intel for his team. Jaeger, his ADSs are some of the times the best utilities you can have down here at that bottom bomb site, because it's just going to be bombarded with nades and flashbangs left and right. And having as many of those ADSs in place in good locations that are going to be very successful is going to be key to the defenders having a clear bomb site for when the attackers try to make that push.
So this time spreading out cameras a little bit, putting one in the classroom, putting one by the front door. Not putting them all inside the A bomb site this time, but he does still have 2 to put down here if he so wishes. Picking up last second armor, waiting for his team to come on through. And then finishing his final reinforcement. Going to make that hold for the C4 as well, while they're making the rotate hold here to his right hand side. Silent Rage droning the meeting hall. We'll have seen that Capcom trap, I hope to God, on the doorway just by his drone. And we'll not walk into that at any point.
Looked as though his drone had to do a double take to recognize, hey, is there really a Capcom trap there? But he did see it. He will call it out to his team. He did clear out meeting hall, cleared out lobby, and he's going to leave his drone potentially in meeting hall for that lurk, for that flank from behind later on in the round. Now Zap is in the top floor and playing Ash, going to be clearing out the top. He did have a drone out in front, so he knows that the top is now clear, but he's looking to see, is there something else that I need to go for? Now he's waiting to see, is Nova going to call someone inside of that armory? There's not going to be anyone there, so he's going to use that Ash charge to open up the top of those stairs, peek down, and make sure there's not going to be someone waiting for Thermite to place that charge on the drop hatch.
So same as before, they prop that up, and Nova will continue joining him a little way, and then he'll come over and join in. Marco Polo on the floor above is going to blow the wall and the drop hatch. Spots the camera there waiting and watching him. Will kill it off once he knows it's safe to do so. Doesn't know, I wonder if there's one in the classroom with him, but either way, it's not too pressing for him. He's going to go back onto a drone for himself. Nova is now up and above that hole, looking at the bottom of the staircase again. Rest of his team still droning all over. Now they realize the floors above are all completely safe. They just got to find out who is where downstairs and what they're going to do about it.
Yeah, and with that 5-man on-site defensive locations that they've got going on, it's going to be up to the C4 since they don't have a smoke. Those gas grenades aren't going to be useful because there's no one there. But Digital throws up the shotgun and gets that kill onto Thermite. The diffuser is now down on those main stairs. So now it is a 5-on-4 with just 60 seconds left to go in the round on this first overtime round here.
Yeah, Digital getting away with it too, dancing back into the back of the laundry closet door as well. Nova's now going to come down. They did EMP Beastly out, so they thought they could block him giving the information about Thermite, but he went a bit too fast. And he had already knew they were coming. Digital picks that up nicely. Looking now for the asphyxiating bolt, it's going to shoot it through this gap. Another reason that you should put it a little bit higher in the wall, because then that can't happen.
Yep.
But he gets it away, pushes and pins him back in the corner. Digital now sprints out to try and stop the plant. Does dodge the grenades, doesn't get the plant stopped. Nova getting one of the kills, ZZ getting another, and now Strictly Business have the plant down. Zapper's taking a lot of damage from that C4, but he's still alive and watching the corridor. Now these 3 players have got to retake this site. Carnage is going to be the man upstairs. He's going to come and try and come through the meeting hall, but ZZ's here waiting for him. He's going to come around the corner. ZZ's pre-aimed. It's an easy kill. Downstairs, Beastly now pushing straight across the front edge. Not going to happen. Zap gets the kill. Silent Rage getting one more, and Strictly Business rinse and repeat the round that put them here into overtime and get themselves the lead.
And they are taking their first lead for tonight's matchup between these two. As it becomes a 5-on-4, we are going into that match point for Strictly Business. Now, we are going to have 3-Sup needing to win the next 2 rounds if they want to get this clutch for the win here. But again, this is only the first matchup of 2, with Kanal being the next map.
Yeah, but Strictly Business, as you mentioned, first time of the night taking the lead. It's going to get a little way under 3-Sup's skin. We already mentioned there's blood between these teams from last season. Myth could have been the team going in second place. They have renamed to 3-Sup now, but Strictly Business took that right on the last Playday with a very clutch round score win, ultimately, to take that spot.
Yeah, and that's some of the gameplay that we've been hoping to see tonight, and we are seeing it. Again, it is overtime right now, and I'm expecting the next game to go into overtime as well, with these teams being so closely matched together, their strats being very different from what we've seen before.
So it's time to see how Strictly Business set up their defense at the same downstairs bomb site. Marco Polo putting a couple of bits of barbed wire and traps down at the front end of the site already. Then we'll head towards the back end to do the meeting trapdoors before rotating down with his last final trap somewhere else.
So 10 seconds until the attack phase starts here. Frost finishing off that reinforcement. He's going to go back downstairs and let her last bear trap down. Although I think she's going to try to make sure that I'm a fool here and go back upstairs, open up that top of the meeting hall pathway. I believe that's typically used for Jaeger, who sits on those back stairs.
Yeah, they do sit him on there so he can rotate up and over if needs be, or down and under another way if he wants to. But right now, Zach is actually nowhere close. It's ZZ that's around there, has done this a couple of times as well. We saw him peek out of this tower door in the past, looking over towards Garage.
Defender is approaching.
Just has to wait an extra couple of split seconds and he would have made it away. Didn't actually have to kill the drone. I don't think it's seen him. Just as he does shoot it, they do duck in and hide by the garage, and now his position is known to somebody.
Defender has left the
So
area.
So they aren't going to care for him because they are covered by that reinforced door. So they're going to make their way into garage and into main lobby here in the next few seconds. And Valkyrie's just going to be playing back here until it's her time to try and make a move.
Defender has left the designated
Out left and
staging
right,
area.
looking for someone that strays a little bit too far out into that car park area. Still a couple on drones, and there's still a man inside the garage, but he cannot see any of that. He's also got a teammate directly above his head in the shape of a Jaeger, who will be able to let him know who and what they are showing through when they're pushing over that attic. And he is once again back to watching the top of this staircase, so they will be able to use that if needs be.
So Capitao now looking at the bottom of the stairs, does spot Frost coming up, but does get the potato, but with the last bullet is able to down her, pick out his pistol, and finish her off.
Very, very sloppy, but the job is done by Jay. She was looking to come up and try and stop the thermite charge, but she's shut down on the way. So Frost out of the picture, but the traps are still down and they will have to be dealt with. Jay now going to go straight through to grenade out the wild wire waiting at the bottom. Just get 1 or 2 pieces before heading and edging his way down. Still got 2 crossbow bolts here left. Needs to think about where he's going to use them before he suicides. In that corridor, there is a shield waiting and blocking, but if he just uses asphyxiating bolt on it, it will kill the man behind it. Instead, he grenades it, blues him away instead, so now Rook is going to have to edge back to safety.
Jaeger's in the top of Meeting Hall right now, still unknown. He does pick up the 1 kill.
Takes out Hopes, comes around the corner, is immediately shut down by Digital, who is also waiting on up there. Flashbang's going on down. Now with that gap in the hole, he goes for the asphyxiating bolts. Nova's the man and waiting right underneath it, fires it straight in his face. Fuses both up on the same spot. That doesn't make him any stronger. Nova now pinned away in the corner. ZZ's picked up 1 kill from behind. The diffuser's going to go down. Silent Rage actually stops it. Silent Rage stops the plant going down, and now there's only 2 attackers left up. Jay upstairs. Carnage downstairs is going to get in the plant, but ZZ's coming from above. Nova's still downstairs, got his C4 in hand, but can't trigger it before he gets down. Has to go into hiding. ZZ firing onto the top. Cannot make the shots count, and Jay picks up even more kills to end the round and keeps his team in it.
What a great play by Jay. Playing Capital, does get a couple kills before that and also picks up those last 2. Instinctively looking at the top of those stairs for that lurk, gets that final kill. I believe that was Valkyrie trying to lurk from behind. And Diffuser goes down and just chaos ensues. But Capital is there to understand the situation and make the best of it for his team. And as we said, you couldn't get much closer than this. Second and third place teams from Xbox NA last season are going at it right now. We are seeing it in the final overtime here for the first match.
Beastly and 3sub trying again to go downstairs against Strictly Business. They failed this twice in a row now. Once to put them on overtime, once to put them behind right at the start of overtime. Now they're going to try it again. What do you have different? What do you have up your sleeve now that you think will make this attempt a change?
Capcom Trap going in some odd places here. It looks as though 1 went into the kitchen. I believe he's going to put another one here in Meeting Hall. And I think the goals of this is going to be trying to draw the attackers here. Possibly play that lurker role, maybe in the showers or the bathroom or the kitchen, and then run out, have the attackers chase them into these Capcom Traps. That's the only logical explanation I can see for having a Capcom Trap inside a kitchen. Because the attackers, if they are taking their time, if they're droning out that location, they're going to know, hey, there's a Capcom Trap here. Let's not rush in there. Let's actually get that trap out of the way. But Jaeger does play that offense there and gets the 2 drones, gives him a little bit of pressure, and now he's back upstairs, and the attackers are going to have to make their way up to him.
Has been pinned in this little corridor there thanks to those shots coming in from the window. He's now going to chase the drone out and get tagged up as he crosses over. 2 more drones got eyes on him, but thanks to this trapdoor being open, he goes straight down again. Silent Rage's drone that's going to come in and find him here in the kitchen. ZZ's also finds him from the storeroom. Can't kill either of them just yet. They're dancing around and away from him, keeping him mobile, keeping him busy. But he is, once again, wasting time. Nova coming down as Capital. Flick from Jay gets the headshot on him. He does take a bit of damage himself. Goes on to Zap, pre-fires it, but Zap gets the kill all the same. And they do trade 1 for 1. Capital, though, is a big, important operator for attacking this base floor. We've already seen it on the rounds of Strictly Business. Did win attacking down here. They need him. So with him out of the picture, it's looking good. But there is that Capcom Trap we were talking about earlier on. Hopes taking Zaps down and out. And this attack for Strictly Business is suddenly looking really tough. They still have another roamer to find.
Yeah, we do have 3 defenders on bomb site. Looks like Valkyrie, though, will be the lurker who is now inside of that kid's bedroom. Does kill 1 drone, spots Thermite with the diffuser down at the bottom of Armory, or at the end of the hall of Armory, but rotates back downstairs towards the bathroom and showers. Gonna rotate over towards the dining hall and possibly just sit inside of showers here, just waiting and waiting. See if the drone's going to spot him or if someone
Another random Capcom Trap just killed Hopes. And then into the crosshairs of Digital, Marco Polo walks. It's all down onto ZZ. He's got to kill 4 people. He can't even kill 1. Carnage is still alive at them on that staircase. Now Digital's coming around to the side of him. Easy kill. 3-sub take map number 1. Digital with his shotgun doing a lot of work there at the end of that last round. And they are in the books.
3-sub is ready to get back into the swing of things and say, you know what, we might have gotten 3rd place last time, but we're ready to take 1st place this time. And they're coming on strong. They're ready for these matchups here, and they didn't give up. I mean, you saw they were up ahead, I think 3-1, eventually 4-2, and then Strictly Business started coming back. You had 3-sub starting to lose momentum, starting to lose some of their will that you saw, but they weren't done yet. They came back, got the win, and ultimately came back winning 6-5, I believe.
Yep, it is. 6-5 is the scoreline for 3-SUP on map number 1, Oregon. Map number 2 is going to be Kanal. So we will head to that in a moment. Obviously got to remake the lobby again, get the players re-invited, get that all underway. But before we do, of course, we'll run to another short commercial break. As you may have seen from our other couple of breaks, there is a nice new fancier set of skins on that page. Now for Thatcher, Fuse, Twitch, and Jaeger. The Season 3 Pro League skins are on sale very, very soon for anyone that wants to support the Pro League teams. Of course, a portion of the money raised from those games go to the Pro League teams themselves. You can directly support your favorite squads just by running those awesome sexy gold skins, and they are on sale very soon. Have a look in game for more information, but those will be there on your screen in a moment. We will be back in just a moment with Kanal, our second map between 3-SUP and Strictly Business, after this break. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to what is about to be map number 2 between Strictly Business and 3-SUP Gaming.
That map being Kanal,
Yes,
which we did see last time. I mean, the last game between, what was it? We had, drawing a blank on the two teams.
First game today?
We just had, the first NA Xbox game, we just had Oregon and Kanal. Engaged and Noble. Noble, those are the two teams. Drawing a blank here, it's getting kind of late. But you know what? The two teams played Kanal and then Oregon, and we're about to flip-flop it here. We've got Kanal up now for the last match for tonight's Xbox Pro League Day, Playday 1.
Yep. Went into very tight overtime round there between Noble and Engage, but Engage, the new kids on the block, ended up taking it with a convincing 2-0 overtime win. So they had a couple of clutch moments, and they finally figured out how to work around Noble's defense of that upper floor bomb site a couple of times right at the end and hold on to their sites. But over in Europe earlier on today, when we had Kanal also played heavily, we saw a lot of the teams just couldn't get their defense to work. They were dying way too early, they were losing their roamers very quickly, and they couldn't waste enough time, and that result gave them a 5v3 with 2 minutes on the clock, which gives an easy attack win. So need to see if these two teams have a better job at it at all or not. And well, we don't have to wait any longer because they're all in the lobby and we can get it underway. Map number 2 then, Strictly Business versus 3Sup, is here in front of you in 2 seconds time. It's going to be Kanal, and well, while it's a very familiar looking map, let's have a quick look over it. That third option bomb site, something that we will and do see played by some very few Xbox teams on both regions in the past, but right now, not something they're going to kick us off with. Server room, control room is going to be 3Sup's first pick, as they are our defending team, while Strictly Business going to come and attack it with a very familiar looking old school lineup of Blackbeard, Ash, Thermite, Sledge, and Thatcher.
And Castle's going to make an appearance here for 3Sup. And typically what you'll see with Castle is you'll just see those 3 west walls reinforced with Castle walls. And that's going to make it very difficult unless you have a Sledge, which we do have. ZZ is going to play that Sledge. So it's going to be difficult for anyone except Sledge to get up there and not knock open those windows.
So on defense, we do have themselves bringing a
Defenders,
rook
protect your
into
bombs from being
the
defended
mix,
by attackers.
although we saw some teams trying to run docks earlier on and still don't understand what the logic is behind that. Jay reinforcing a couple of spots between connector. We see some teams sitting there using that as a very powerful kill hole in toward this box here, but it also can be used against you by a Blackbeard, so he's sealing it up so that that cannot be done. Castle, as you mentioned, is going to put some barricades on these back windows shortly enough, and that will help seal it up from the red brick roof, but Sledge can get up there and open them up pretty quick and easily if they clear that garage and make sure he cannot be killed from underneath.
We do see Pulse outside of the kitchen entranceway by the hallway there, and it looks as though he was just trying to kill some drones, but he's going to work his way back up top and open up some of the floor here, little feet holes, so he'll be able to see when the attackers start pushing in from that box platform outside.
Doesn't give anyone from the outside a nice angle in, but it does mean they can quickly locate where the planter may be or where anyone that's inside that site is sitting, so they can easily shut them out and finish them off. 7-second plant time is a long time to be sat in one spot.
Yeah, and what we see here, we do have all 5 defenders on site, inside of the control tower and server room and connector in between, with no lurkers trying to come up with a flank from behind. So it's going to be the attackers needing to get some kind of formulating strategy to figure out how they're going to get in with 5 defenders on site.
So, a couple of bits of damage already on Carnage now. It's why he's pruned and scared down behind these windows as he's being shot across from the red brick roof.
I like where that one castle wall is, right above Rook's head. Sledge cannot get there. The only way you're going to be able to get that window open is either through an Ash charge or someone throws a nade.
Already used up all the Ash charges, so that's not going to happen. They do, however, get the Thermite charge open onto box. They'll open the second one while Silent Rage is over the edge watching that push on the corridor. Push isn't going to come because of that reason. And now that the wall is open, Silent Rage can step up and use that nice chest-height wall that's left from the upside-down breach to get a good angle in towards the bomb site. A little bit of trouble with that camera, but ultimately the job gets done. Sprays in towards the corridor, a little bit wide, but we'll open up some holes and give them a nice little angle into the corridor for anyone pushing that way now. So got a couple of bits of cover here for someone that wishes to possibly try a plant, but right now there are just way too many people still alive on the defending team for any kind of plant attempt to succeed.
Yeah, we see Valkyrie on those main stairs, potentially just waiting for some footsteps, or she actually might rotate downstairs into the jail cell, C4 from underneath when they start calling out that the diffuser is going to be planted here shortly. But there is 60 seconds left. It's still a 5-on-5. Rook is taking some damage early on in the round, but not enough to down him out too much. He's still going to be very viable behind those circle monitors. And the bomb site, it looks like where it's going to be pushed out from. We got a couple of the attackers on top of red. Looks like we've got Blackbeard, as we're watching right now, outside of the balcony. And now we have some smoke grenades coming in from Ash into these circle monitors, and that's just going to blind up Rook. Sledge is going to be on that west window, and now he's going to open up some of those windows and be able to cover off some of the angles, especially from Connector, where the attackers or the defenders typically are going to try to get that angle in the box.
Trying to nade the Rook down. One nade is taking him in low, the second nade hasn't gone off just yet, but the Zapper's man with the diffuser here is now coming in the front edge of the site. He's actually right in behind the A bomb site. Not sure if he wants to plant it yet, but basically taking ZZ off a window before Digital is traded out by Nova inside the site. Zap is going to go for the plant, so Silent Rage now got to cover the connector, and the plant is going to continue through. Jaeger's going to rush on out, gets through the shots here from Blackbeard. The plant's going to go down, but Zap will get the kill onto him as soon as he's done. Jay finishes Zap off after he's taken down Carnage. Now Silent Rage is outside as Oops takes off Nova. 3 defenders left up. Make that 1 defender left up as 2 of them line up perfectly for Silent Rage. Thermite is very, very low on health, but Beastly is the last man standing here on the defensive side. He comes out looking for Silent. Over on the far side of the roof, both of them are there, but Marco Polo is credited with the kill on to Beastly.
Great lineup by Silent Rage there. I mean, we saw him looking through the wall at the door towards Smoke, who was coming up the way, but Jaeger just pushed it at the wrong time, lined up that shot perfectly. You saw that double instant headshot, and that turned the tables. The defensive had the upper hand at that point, even though the diffuser was planted. You had 2 attackers left. It was Thermite and Blackbeard, both outside on the balcony. If you would have gotten Blackbeard down, you could have had 1 or 2 defenders hold onto the box, hold onto that platform, while the 3rd defender opens up and destroys that diffuser. But that double headshot definitely turned the tides and made the attackers favorable towards the very end of that round, which we just saw was all Blackbeard's doing there.
Many bombs as they can.
So, got that plant down despite having that many members left up and alive. Ash coming through a slightly more unpredictable window that could not be covered by anyone already inside. Getting that plant down behind the A-bomb site. Now, however, it's time for them to begin their own defense. Will they have a hole in it like they just exploited? Or will they have to hold on far tighter? They're bringing themselves a Frost into the mix here for their defense. They're going to have those traps to contend with, and we've already seen how strong traps can be today, both Capcan and Frost traps, as everyone seems to have forgotten they're in the game and just keep running around willy-nilly. But we'll see whether or not Grease Up have learned their lesson and are ready to hear and stop these specific Frost traps. We also do see ZZ running around in the other building at the moment with an MPX still in hand, pre-breaking windows, pre-cracking things open so that he has these spots to speak out from without making any noise, without making people aware later in the round, if he has the time or the will to go for a late rotate and pick someone off from behind.
Yeah, and going back to what we were just talking about with traps, I think that's one of the great things about this game in general, is the fact that you have the ability to call something out as, hey, this isn't going to be viable. You throw it out of the books, you don't even think about it, and the next thing you know, next season in the Pro Leagues, it can be right there, and it can cause a drastic impact on the game, on the way the game's played.
Drone just ran around right under ZZ's feet, and he does not seem to be aware of it. So he's now trying to hide a little bit more in model, but they aren't aware of it. Perfect C4 of a man over inside the red brick building as he steps over the pre-placed spot. He is in that front main door by the metal detectors. Ash taken out with that. Now he cracked the window open, and up on the edge there is a very now low health Sledge, but he is still standing as ZZ's aim was not quite on point. Will want to get himself reset as he is on a single point of health, so he's going to have to jump off a roof in a moment. But ZZ, despite having been droned out, despite having his position known, is being a nuisance. Jay finishes off Zap as he heads downstairs. Capital just get a kill and trade 1-for-1 back, but he is now on 1 point of health as well, and will have to jump off a roof and get revived.
Yeah, each time someone jumps off that roof, takes the time to rappel up to the top, then jumps off, has his teammate revive him. That's just seconds off the clock. That's as good as having a lurker and pushing back the attackers. So we do see Capital just jumping off there, going to get revived, but again, it's going to cost them 20 valuable seconds.
So, he is now picked up as ZZ finds another drone on his way back up, kills it off, and then heads aggressively forward again. That drone didn't spot him as it came in. Was a little bit preoccupied with going up the stairs. That drone he will see, shoot it though. Gives his position away all the same because Blackbeard is very damn close to it. Now, they do get a smoke kill onto Jay. He was rappelling on one of the windows, and a nice normal SMG kill comes out from Nova from behind the desks. Marco Polo still on the staircase. ZZ still running around downstairs. Gets a kill into Digital now by peeking out their garage, and it's suddenly a 4v2 with 45 seconds on the clock. The guys upstairs are Thermite and Blackbeard. And Blackbeard, while he's inside, turns away from the desk just at the wrong time. Exposes his backside to that man behind him. Ducks away to hide from it. Teammate gets killed off by the very aggressive Frost player, and then Silent Rage will do his job. Finishes Blackbeard off through the wall.
And that's going to be the second win for Strictly Business here. Taking a strong stance on Kanal that we haven't seen on Oregon. We saw Oregon go in favor of 3-sup, 3-1 at the very start, but now we see Strictly Business coming on strong, 2-0, saying, you know what, let's end it here, let's get this win and call it a day.
So he's definitely got Kanal figured out for now, but they've got to go to a slightly different strategy here, as 3-sup will be back up into that top floor server and control room.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Now,
as many bombs as they
hopefully,
can.
they'll rethink their defense. They won't have that hole in it they had before. They did have a very strong hold. Keeping 5 members alive as long as they did was great. Keeping them there and locked outside without the plant was good, but then Ash just found one window that wasn't quite being watched because it was so rare to do, or rare to use. That's... She got in there and maybe just plant behind the A-bomb, turn the tables on the defending team.
Yeah,
They
it
weren't able to retake it.
looks like they're going to rotate out Castle's gameplay here and going to throw in that Frost, which we saw Strictly Business do. And it worked out well for him, I believe. So having a Frost here, is if you place those traps correctly, you can prevent those entry points like we saw Ash go in last time. And so you place them on that window, that's going to be great. But it looks as though she's going to be placing them for that server-side platform. So looks as though she's actually rotating around, going back to those circle monitors and placing them where the entry point was last time, on those west walls.
So Jay running over in the red brick building, just hiding here, watching that front door. Digital, and also down here, as you mentioned, hiding a couple of cameras underneath to see what could be coming her way or Zap's way.
Very odd to see 2 lurkers on this map, especially on the other side of the bridge. As soon as the attackers get a hold of that bridge, all they have to do is just hold it. There's no other way the defenders can get back to site without being detected. Now they can go on top of the bridge, they can run outside from the bottom boat room into garage, but either of those locations, either of those routes are going to take them out of bounds and be notified by the enemy team.
Now, as far as I can tell, Jay has not been droned yet, but with Valk having been done, all the attacking team have to do here is go for a very quick 5-man push onto either A or B bomb site, and they will win with the swarm unless their aim is god-awful. And then Jay and Valk, as you say, cannot get back without coming across the bridge, and that is not good for them. What a shot! Jay saves his own life with a last second to spare by somehow finding the head of ZZ.
We are going to see Valkyrie and Jaeger going back downstairs again. Jaeger will get down by Valkyrie, getting picked back up, and he's going to have 50 health instead of the 30 that he was promised with after that engagement.
That's awkward. Nova's flashbang blinding him and Zap as they're both trying to look in through this B window, and everything I said about a fast push here while they had the numbers advantage is just vanishing with time. Digital and Jay can start making their way back over, and here it is. Jay's now in the correct bomb building again, so it's 4v4 in here. Silent Rage still watching across the bridge. Somehow he must have missed Jay coming over.
I actually
Maybe
think
he
Jay
got
went
flashed as well.
I think Jay might have gone from the bottom. We did see an enemy detected outside. I think he ran in from the boat room out towards the garage.
Very possible, yeah. He came in and went up those stairs. Now they're on the B windows. There is underneath. Digital doing the same thing, coming from that garage doorway. Shooting up underneath Marco Polo with a shotgun and getting the kill, dropping the diffuser, and just as he was about to walk into Zap's crosshairs, Zap looks away, and that's going to mean Digital could come underneath him again. He does so, aims down sight, takes a lot more shots than it used to, but he does get the kill. Goes for the C4, he's downed, but he will
C4
not
gets
get
thrown,
the
but
redone.
does not get detonated, and the attacker teammate will stay alive. Zap's going to drop down, be picked up by Silent Rage, who did pick up the kill onto Valkyrie. It's still a 4-on-3 though, 20 seconds left to go in the round. They're gonna have to repel, make a quick push into the server room. C4 from Beastly will kill Nova though. 4-on-2, 10 seconds remaining. They're just gonna have to rush in. Hopefully they get a couple flick headshots. Blackbeard does go down. Carnage then also picks up that last kill onto Ash, and it's gonna be, 3-sup taking their first win on this round here.
Delaying them for a long, long time, picking up quick kills that they honestly didn't deserve, with Jay getting that headshot onto ZZ from across the building, across the way. Sloppy little bits of play, allowing Digital to get out underneath them and allowing those rumors to come back and be relevant on the right bomb site when they should have just been nullified by players watching and just pressuring the bomb sites. I don't know. It was sloppy. 3-sup did get the win. They earned it in some way, but honestly, I feel that was a Strictly Business throw more than it was.
That was a little bit sloppy.
Hard.
I will say though,
red brick building.
whoa, this is the first time I've been a part of casting a red brick building side of this map. But I will say though, in that last round, I'm going to give some of the prop to Valkyrie pulling off that hesitation, timing that hesitation correctly to where Thermite came down, investigated, but then retreated back and just missed her, so she was able to get that second, or potentially almost that second kill, downing him up top. But other than that, great plays by the teams, but also a little bit of sloppy play by Strictly Business.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, setting up their defense here. A couple of reinforcements onto the corridor with kill holes, then straight up full reinforcements towards the stairwell, full reinforcements towards the front corridor.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
No reinforcement
Attackers
between the
dropping
bombs.
diffuser.
Normally, occasionally you'll see people do one just to give someone to
Attackers
hide behind.
recovered the bomb.
But
Doing
you aren't
nothing.
even seeing any openings between the two. No murder holes, no C4 holes, no even feet hole to see if they're in the room.
No
So
reinforcements up the far end.
it's almost as if they've forgotten about that wall.
There, and one reinforcement on this, two reinforcements on this side as well. So interesting. Now, plenty of windows for them to still play on here. So, ZZ starts cracking himself a couple of holes down below. The pressure is coming in up and above. Hopes he's cracking open some windows. Digital picking up his drone and looking to reposition around again. Getting a flashbang in through those bars is a tough throw, but it's possible. Carnage up here on the B windows is looking for some kind of opening. Anyone that might not quite be in their position yet, anyone that he could just shove off by making these windows move. As it is, that man may have been Castle, who sprinted aggressively towards this doorway. It is now prone in their own barbed wire. Carnage's head is there on show, and he comes up, peeks up behind him, does get down from behind himself by the looks of it, before we then see Digital pushing in from the stairwell to finish him. Shotguns there, it didn't do what it needed onto Blackbeard. He manages to walk away from it with half his health. Now Hopes is going to push in, but be finished off by Zap in the corridor. Zap's going to push forward for a second one, goes for the drop shot and doesn't win out. Digital getting himself another kill and trade. Now Thermite's coming to join, and they're all looking to come through this doorway again. He's going to grenade on in to try and take out the barbed wire. Enemy detected outside. I suspect he's up on the roof, as the defenders are sending ZZ out from boats to try and look up top. Nova now firing onto one window, takes a lot of damage, doesn't deal a lot of it, and the attackers here from 3-sub might be looking to even out the game. 1 minute 10 on the clock, and they are getting all the kills they need. ZZ though helps even it back the other way, now making it 3v3. But as the B pressure is starting to unload, Carnage is getting another kill. ZZ peeks around the corner, pre-fires onto Digital. Digital goes prone and he's ready for it. Digital is down now. Carnage is killed outside by Nova. Beastie's the only man standing. As he pulls his gun away, ZZ peeks again. ZZ is edging on forward, but they're going to get the revive on out. He's still watching this very tight angle here for Digital to come around the corner again. Digital stands on up, comes on out, misses a lot of the shots. Beastly going for the plant. He's going to successfully get it down. The C4 is not getting through that gap in any way, shape or form, but it will help give him an opening to come towards the bomb site itself. Nova's in the corridor, got his gun trained on that corner, but now that they've fallen back, 3-sub just have to sit and wait for the push to come forward, and here it comes with ZZ, finished off again by Digital. He's having a great game on this map. 3-sub here and out. Nova sprints across the gap, smokes it for a little bit of cover. Up on the windows, we've got Thermite. Digital out on the main door. He does take Digital down finally. Jumps on out to go for the next man, but he aims a bit too high. Thermite is low enough, and it is an easy round in the end for 3-sub to score it out at 2-2.
Yeah, great job by Thermite. I mean, after he got the diffuser planted, backed outside and repelled, but wasn't being overly aggressive. What I would have liked to have seen Sledge do, though, in that ending scenario, was hold a soft peek, especially when he was trying to fight that Valkyrie who was inside of the hallway back towards the main bomb site. Hold a soft peek, let them try to peek you, let them come to you, because right now, they know that you're going to get into that bomb site. They know you're going to get that diffuser planted, so they have to come to you. Hold that soft angle and let them try to make the mistakes. Don't try to force it on them.
So, time now for the kitchen projector room defense for 3-sub. This is the more standardized second bomb site now that we're on an even scoreline. Could be their chance to take the lead and crack it back out ahead.
Being defused by attackers.
And as we see here in map room, it is going to be reinforcing the wall here. But what I typically will see here is a 2-3 split or a 3-2 split, where you're having 2 or 3 of the defenders on main bomb site and the other 2 holding the top bomb site, which we see Frost is going to be there. You can already tell, since they are opening up those drop hatches and laying the frost traps down, that they're going to bunker down up top here. They're going to be ready for a fight, And this is where the fight's gonna go. The attackers know that they need to take control of top if they want to get control of the main floor and ultimately get that diffuser down. It's not going to be very effective for the defenders, or for the attackers, to push into a bomb site knowing that the defenders can easily open up the drop hatch, pop down as they're in the middle of planting that diffuser.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Floor above currently holds 2 shotguns in the shape of Hopes and of Digital. And one 416 in the hands of Jay, which we've already seen can be incredibly dangerous. Ooh, Digital just about keeps his head on his shoulders while throwing that camera out as the fire came in from the people spawning construction. But still intact for now. A couple of holes being made through the floor towards the windows and the doorways in from Jay.
And we do see Jaeger opening up a couple of the openings between the server drop hatch, but Sledge is there on the window trying to get a couple shots onto Jay. Doesn't land any back or forth. He's going to rotate back upstairs to the top of the building, potentially come in from a different angle. And Jaeger's going to stick down a couple ADSs here in the connector where a couple nades will most likely come from. Frost is up there in the circle monitors with him, trying to prepare for the ensuing onslaught that's going to happen here shortly. Those getting thrown down a connector. Frost now on her cam, giving some information to the team. We do see Blackbeard. Ash does get killed, looks as though by a Frost shotgun. Box did get opened up.
Yeah, Hopes pick up the kill on Ash, pushing on in. Now we are looking for a few other players trying to find their way in through here, but they have just got that down on a man in a frost trap, and it is Capital that came in. Hopes gets that kill sealed as well, still being up here on this floor, and Strictly Business having a really tough time taking out these roamers that are playing up here. Hopes done his job, picked up 2 kills, now falling a bit back into a more defensive position close to the bomb sites on the stairs, dodging these grenades which are taking out the barbed wire. Now he's going to push up, gets a good down onto Sledge. Jay helps him out to finish it off. They are still trying to swarm this floor, but with only 2 left now. Blackbeard is up on the corridor window. Marco Polo is inside the box and inside control. They finally take out Jay, but this is giving Hopes a chance to run away to safety. Minute 10 on the clock and 2 players left up. All the roamers have to do now is push back towards their bomb sites, push back into a defensive place, and wait for these attackers to come their way. Marco Polo is very much solo up on the floor above right now and is to be very cautious with every move he makes. Silent Rage downstairs is on the windows firing into kitchen, but no one's going to have to reveal themselves to that at all for a long, long time yet.
There are 45 seconds left in the round of 4v2, as we just said, and it's going to be Thermite top floor right now. He's going to have to drop through one of the hatches. I doubt he's going to go through the stairs just for the fact that there is a Frost in that display case, and there's all that barbed wire. But actually, it looks as though he might be second-guessing himself, saying, okay, well, let's head on down there. Blackbeard's going to hold on to that window outside of the kitchen doorway, and that's where you're going to see that push come in from.
Strictly Business, sending Silent Rage in through the window to the barbed wire. Thermite's coming down the stairs. Right underneath him, there's a Frost. Down he goes. Easy peasy. Silent Rage finished off as well. Digital with his shotgun drop down from outside. And 3sup take the lead. 3 rounds to 2.
It's 3 straight rounds that 3sup has taken the win. They're saying, you know what? 2-0, that's nothing. Let's come back 3-2 right now. They're still going strong, going hard, and we're going to see some great gameplay ensuing here. It looks as though Capital, again, will make an appearance again. He's got his great asphyxiating crossbow arrows, but as well as those smokes, play vital roles. Bomb site's going to be in server room and control room with Rook, Jaeger, Frost, Valkyrie, and Smoke. No castle, no pulse, just those 5.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
To the
can.
top floor go Strictly Business. They did successfully hold their defense here on their first attempt. That gave them round number 1. They then successfully attacked it, and that gave them round number 2. They are yet to win anything else since. Can they break that chain, or will they go down here 3 points shy of anything? Will that all head over into 3sup's pocket?
What I've seen most of the attack phase, or the attack strategies on this top bomb site have all been external. I haven't seen many attackers try to push in from the main bombs, or main floor, pushing up those main stairs to give another level of pressure. And with that ensuing, what I expect to have happen is potentially having these defenders open up those drop hatches and then rotate around once they get cornered. Either whether that's in server or there's back of server circle monitors, any of that is I'm expecting the defenders to take advantage of, but I haven't seen those opened up in a while, so we're going to see if that's actually going to play a viable role here for them. Zap
disconnected before the 15 seconds of the round timer, but Strictly Business are going to continue playing without him. It's their opportunity to leave and asks for the remake, so they're going to have to keep going now 4v5. He does actually return and get himself back in, so he will be back for the next round, and that's fine. But it's going to suck for this one. ZZ still roaming around below at the moment then. He's got a couple of people outside these metal stairs. He's going to pull it down. Immediately turns away, just does it for the fear factor for the moment, but he will now have that in his arsenal for later on, peeking out when they're a little bit less aware.
And now he's just going to stay around in kitchen, hold off to see if anyone's going to push in from that police entrance point outside of kitchen hallway. And this is going to be another window he tries to open up, hits it, tries to throw a Val cam out, but gets stuck onto that barricade. And we're going to see if it actually works it out. It does make itself out to the police car, but I'm pretty sure it already got shot out. It did. It doesn't make an appearance here, with the attackers being very attentive to what's coming their way.
As soon as they saw that window smash, they'd have been watching it, waiting for a head to show up in it, and they saw the camera come out, followed it around, and before he could even get a chance to bring out his little mobile phone.
And we see Jay playing Capital. He's inside a garage right now. Drone's up from the bottom. Not quite sure he spotted ZZ, but ZZ surely spotted that drone. And now he's going to back out of there, head on over to kitchen. And we're going to wait to see what happens here in the next 70 seconds, as it is a 5-on-3 right now, with Strictly Business trying to fight to stay alive here.
So Jay still underneath. Beastly up top is now droning in towards the A site. He's found Nova. Nova can't get out that drone yet. Carnage coming around one side. Silent Rage does get a good kill finally for the defending team, and a C4 kill from underneath from ZZ, thanks to having blown that or pulled that wall open already. Gives him a way out there for that. So they do bring it straight back to a 3-3, and Strictly Business are suddenly back in this round. Hoop outside in the car park, finally coming over to join the rest of his team. Beastly up onto the roof to pick up the diffuser, and Jay, the man of Capital, is cautious of the back side of the desk. He does have those asphyxiating bolts, fires them in, then repels his way down.
So he's gonna lay that out there so he can pop into server, because that's where the plant's gonna come down. We see Thermite with the diffuser outside of server platform. Ash is on the other side, and Jay's gonna repel inside right now. Lay down a couple shots here through the hole. Does pick up the kill onto Silent Rage, and diffuser will get planted here as we are in the last 10 seconds of this round. Ash is going to hold that open, and Thermite's going to get that diffuse down. Capital's watching the connector. Here comes Smoke with the push. Does get killed. 1 second left, and the diffuser does get planted. It's now a 3-on-1, and Valkyrie's not even on the same floor. Underneath, inside a kitchen. Waiting to throw no C4, no cams. Just an MPX. Gets a couple shots laid onto Capital. And now it's going to be her having to come up those main stairs. You know she's underneath. That's where you have to watch as an attacker. You got to make sure she's going to make her way up there. A couple ghost shots come through the wall. Even more shots going to ZZ, down to about 30 health. Diffuser planted, only 25 seconds remaining until that needs to get destroyed. Ash is peeking out. ZZ gets the kill onto Ash, and it's going to be Thermite picking up the final kill onto ZZ, getting the round for 3-sup. And that's going to make it 4-2 right now. 3-sup taking the lead again.
So, finally on to match point and series point here. They take it, they take all 3 points. 3-sup having won the first map in overtime. Can they seal it out? Can they get their revenge on Strictly Business, who took their spot in the final?
I was hoping we would see a Kavera. She popped up there for just a split second, but unfortunately it looks like Rook or Valkyrie will take her place.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
They do now look to set up their top floor bomb site themselves. They've had an okay run in here so far after their first few rounds. Strictly Business did win their first attack round on this floor, their only attack round attacking this floor.
Right now they're looking a little confused, just looking back and forth. They haven't reinforced a single wall yet, and the defensive prep time is already halfway finished. So I believe box is not even reinforced at the moment. I think they're just going to leave it open and potentially utilize it to shoot out of. Now that's going to be a very different strat than we've seen before, unless they're reinforcing that right now.
So, as the reinforcements are wrapped up,
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers must
downstairs
locate
with
and
the
defuse
reinforcements
the
in
bomb.
the security room.
Carnage re-picks up his barbed wire to set it down in a more precise location at the bottom of those stairs. Valkyrie, we've seen her be situated on those stairs in the past. She's going to lay down a couple of cams inside of that display case, and then comes back upstairs to play her normal role. Zap playing Ash is going to be on top of the red building, opening up some of the windows. Looks as though she still has both of her Ash charges left and all of her smoke grenades. Thermite outside of the sailboat spawn area, inside of the big open area there by the bench. And now she's looking, they realize that, hey, that wall's not reinforced. And this is where, as an Ashe, you're gonna have to say, I need to save my breach charges and those ranged destruction devices. I'm gonna have to open up those from a distance because we will not have the luxury of placing a breach charge. So you're gonna see these charges opening up the wall here. And that's gonna be very effective there for that entry point because those walls were not reinforced by the defenders intentionally.
We've seen a lot of teams, they'll obviously do the upside down breach for Thermite, give that solid reinforcement for Blackbeard to hide behind, and then they'll come in with the normal breach as a big open hole to go for the plant. By not reinforcing those walls, which are always going to get opened anyway, there's now nothing solid for Blackbeard to hide behind. So I actually really like this idea from through Sub.
I like it as well. You're basically taking away the usefulness of Thermite. Thermite is now, his abilities are not useful. There's no other walls you're going to destroy up there. And Blackbeard now cannot utilize that as a secondary shield, almost as if it's a sixth operator. You have a Montaigne right in front of you, potentially. So, great, I'm going to say, in-game or in-game logic that they're using right now, realizing in the middle of the heat of battle, hey, let's change this up. They know they're going to go this way. Let's make it so they can't actually utilize that to the best of their ability.
So, is still journeying in towards bottom. Silent Rage is still trying to peek in this spot, but is far more cautious now and does not have the same kind of sight line before. Finds the camera, shuts it down, and goes back to watching the corridor. Thermite's still outside there as well, rattling shots over into the gap, but the diffuser's once again in Zap's hand. This is the window he came in last time. It was the weak point for the defending team. This time, however, the shots are already rattling off the window frame from that Frost shotgun. Zap doesn't take any damage from it, but he knows he can't go in there anymore, and he will be taken out from underneath by Digital, but they do trade back onto Hopes at the same time, so they lose their Frost while losing the diffuser. 29 seconds on the board, and while Thermite's inside, he's picked up one kill. They don't have the diffuser anymore. It's all the way downstairs, and they're being picked off like flies as they're swarmed. ZZ's already down in a Frost trap, and just like that, 3-Sup have ended the game and taken all 3 points.
Amazing round at the end right there. Just 4 instant kills for the defenders. Defenders took them all out. You saw the Frost trap right there. Sledge getting flustered at the very end, realizing, hey, we're pushing in. We need to go right now. There's not much time. We don't have the diffuser. We need to push on in and try to get those kills. He doesn't look beneath him as he enters into that window, and it's going to be a dead Sledge. It's exactly what you saw right there. The usefulness of those traps, those Capcom's traps, those Frost traps. It's a great gameplay, great strategy that we haven't seen before in the past because they've been written off as, oh, this isn't going to be viable. But when you start getting that mentality in your head, you start realizing, hey, this isn't going to be viable. And you start forgetting that. You start forgetting it's a capability. That's where it's going to bite you in the ass.
Zap dying on that.